No, thank you. I can't hear you.
Time being 6:03, I'll call this meeting to order. Welcome everybody here with us tonight. And as we begin, I'll ask Dr. Harrison to lead us in a word of prayer.
Sure will. Will you all bow your heads? Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today and give thanks for this gracious day and this wonderful opportunity. We give thanks for the gracious rain when the growing season is upcoming. We give thanks for the opportunity to do your will. We ask that you guide us tonight and lead us tonight to make the best Christian decisions for young men and women in our community. And dear Lord, we ask that you continue to watch over all those that are sick or may be in need of your services. Dear Lord, we pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve. Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. And I will note that Jeremy's not with us tonight. He's out of town on some
He's on
He's on-
assignment, so he is joining us by
Yes, sir.
electronically. We just wanted to acknowledge that. All right, moving into announcements and recognitions.
It is a great week, and before you is a little token of appreciation for recognition of school board members, School Board Appreciation Week. And thank y'all for all that you do. I know it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of effort that you put in to do what's best for boys and girls. And it's not always a thankful job, but I'm very grateful for all of you and what you do for us. So thank you.
So Jeremy's gifts are in the mail.
Yes. Tell him I'm giving them to him in a week.
All right, moving into the minutes. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the call meeting of February the 2nd.
Motion to approve the minutes for the call meeting.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor of the minutes of the call meeting of February 2nd, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? That was Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Motion carries. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of February the 9th.
So moved. Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 9th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? All right. One opposed, motion carries. System reports. I'll entertain a motion, we approve the consent agenda items listed on your agenda as items A, 1 through 5.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda items.
Second. Okay, motion second, no discussion. First is paid bills list.
Mr. Chairman, the paid bills are showing as Fund 100, $1,995,740.07. And Fund 150 is showing $166,807.20.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Any questions? Our general fund fiscal year to date.
General fund for March is showing at $8,010,751.05, give or take $588.
Yes, ma'am. $8 million. I thought Ms. Brooks would actually have a follow-up question about that. She's surprised.
It's nice.
If I could, you'll remember we talked in the work session about CARES Act money. The acquisition of this money is going to create some imbalances in the financial statements and the fund balances as we go through the remainder of this year. Currently, we have already expended about $3 million of the CARES 2 money and requested reimbursement. So, that $3 million is showing up in your fund balance right now. This also had the effect of reducing the expense in your instructional budget because we are replacing the expenditures in local and state money with the CARES Act money. So it reduces the total expenditures in that line. Now, you're going to see, it's just according to when we run these numbers from month to month, because we'll be continuing to request reimbursement. It will show up in the fund balance, we'll transfer it out and drop back down. The expense categories are going to be skewed somewhat. So if you have any questions, just ask, and I'll try to keep you abreast of what's going on. But we've already expended half of that $6 million and anticipate having the money here shortly.
That's better than sending the money back, right?
Amen.
East Los report.
East Los, for the month of February, we got $208,790.96 in pennies.
Yes, ma'am, that's our first deposit for calendar 2021. That's the January revenue.
Okay.
So the revenue is the average for this month.
Okay.
All right, facilities report.
Yes, sir. As you can tell, we're staying busy on these work orders, just, caught up as they come in. And, I was contacted by Sydney Thomas, which is high school lady, student at high school. She's on the state superintendent student advisory council. They have a service project this year, and she contacted me, and for their service project, they wanted to clean and sanitize our playgrounds at our school. So they are working on that. So they have completed elementary school and the primary school, so they got to come over here. So they're doing it on the weekends. And I thought that was a great thing for them to do as a project. And she stayed in contact with me, and let her in the facilities and have to do it on the weekends. And they're going to come here to appreciate finish up. They do a great job. They take a few pictures. And we got, I had our bleachers in our gymnasium. I had an inspection done, which has never been done before, but and they needed a lot of work done to them. I got a quote from the company to repair it, it's like $68,000. And me and my guys are pretty much done, and we've done it in-house. So, we have a few more little things to do. Most of that, 68,000 is labor, But, we've been working on just about completed, just a few little odds and ends. And our, football field, high school and, middle school has been sprayed. It's supposed to be another month, so we've got to put the 24 inches of rain to get in here. We started on those, supposedly, during football season, our middle school kids will have a field of their own, and of course, I think that's time we got scoreboard installed. Got all the kitchen hoods, in our kitchens inspected, everything passed, and we'll get going on that from the fire security. So, we continue to supply all our schools with whatever base mass that we got from GEMA. Also, I got a call today from Fisher O'Board, our trucks came in today, so hopefully they'll be delivered. They said probably, as soon as they gotta get them ready, but tomorrow or Thursday, so. There are guys, that's some trucks, so they can continue to work. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Newell. Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair, Board, I'd also like, on the facilities report tonight, to add Parish Construction in the update of Fitzgerald High School, College, and Career Academy. So Corey, I'm gonna call on you and put you on the hot seat.
Yes, sir. A lot of familiar faces. I am the guy on site from day to day, and just kind of update of what we've got going. We've had some dry weather this past week. We're trying to take advantage of it. We've got about 95% of our footings done. Looking to pour Thursday. We got a slab pour Friday to finish up our CCA wing. Our decking's going down tomorrow, so we can start putting the roof on our gymnasium. Tech them hopefully next week. If the rain will hold out, we'll try to start getting our tectum down. The infrastructure can really start at that point once we get a lid on it. Other than that, the site it's either very wet or very dry. So we're working that as best as possible right now. But we're making great progress, and as long as the dry weather can stay with us, and we'll continue to make that progress. That's all I got.
Thank you, Corey. I'd like to thank Parish, as always, in the outstanding work that they do, and Travis, and what they've been able to put together. But I do want to give a huge shout out to Corey, because a lot of you have been with me, and I've taken you out there. And he's done an outstanding job at keeping this progress going and moving, and continuously moving to where it's never a delay, really. I mean, yes, we've had a pile of rain, but he's able to coordinate the project to where, just because it might be a little wetter over here and muddier where they can't pour concrete, it doesn't mean he's not working on building walls and finishing over here at this area. And that means a tremendous amount when you're doing a brand new building. And we appreciate that very much. We appreciate all of you, but we appreciate Corey specifically in what he does, and then putting up with us interrupting him all the time to get hard ass and take people around. But he's been very, very good to us, and we appreciate that.
There's a lot of moving parts going on there.
Thank you. The athletic report. All right, all those in favor of the consent agenda items, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. Transportation requests are as information to you. There are none of those out of state. The Board of Directors meeting from the College and Career Academies. Al is not here.
He is not, Mr. Chair. He couldn't have tennis match, but don't forget next week on the 16th is Flex, the finals Flex, And they have an outstanding program with an enormous amount of people coming in to participate with that. So if you have the availability, or at least give him an email and a shout out, telling him good luck, and especially our kids.
And please change the time, it starts at 10 a.m. I just noticed it says 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Thank you.
And I'll send y'all, I'll get him to remind to send something out Monday. We'll send it, just a last note.
If you can, take the opportunity to go. This is a huge deal for our students and our community, but it's also statewide recognition as it's come down upon us for this.
We had the availability to bring in 3 school districts the other day that are looking at career academies and putting those in place. And Mr. Frank, that you all have met from the state, and Miss Jenny were both down. And what they've been able to put together in this Flex program is going to continue to build, and it's spreading everywhere. And more people are becoming involved, and more people are coming to look at it. And I can see this thing very easily taking ground next year to where we're having other school systems near us or quite near us doing the same thing. And then the winners of those come together and participate. And this thing's going to take off and eventually become a statewide competition across the board. You imagine that, if we can make it a statewide and people like Coca-Cola and Georgia Power Corporate get involved, in what kind of availability that would be. It's very exciting.
I understand that our students performed for the professional women's luncheon the other day.
That's exactly right.
That was fantastic.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll give an update on the COVID report. We've had a total of 89 students and 71 employees who have had COVID, a positive test. We've also partnered with the Department of Public Health with Chris Naylor. She's been a vital in helping us and department, all of our school nurses, to get this vaccination for our teachers and staff scheduled for us. So we have 3 dates scheduled for our staff to be vaccinated. Starting this Friday at the primary school and middle school, next Friday the 19th at the pre-K and elementary school, and on the 26th the board and FHS CCA. So we're excited about that. We have over 100 employees who are going to get vaccinated. Also, they can also call and schedule an appointment now if they want it sooner. So they've made things readily available to our teachers and our staff, and we're excited about that. And we're excited for them to get the vaccination and be able to feel like they're having some kind of normalcy after all this. So we're excited about that. And I can't thank Ashley and the nurses and all the people that it takes to make our schools safe. And then for us not to have any students or staff with COVID reported the last 2 weeks, that's big for us because we had a really high spike in late December and early January. So we want to thank our staff and our teachers and our administrators and nurses and everybody that, bus drivers, everybody that it's taken to get this done, and we really appreciate the support of that given us.
Thank you, Ms. Glenn.
Excellent job. Moving into new business, want to request approval for the Russ Distance Learning Telemedicine Grant. We had some notification of that. Want to speak to that?
We applied for right at $1.1 million in the Russ grant earlier. Ms. Bonnie Kelly being the director of the grant and writing the grant. And due to Matt Smith and Weaver, I believe it's Ron Weaver. I can't, and I'll correct that, but he is at Wiregrass. Warren. Roy Warren is at Wiregrass. Between him and Matt, they developed the infrastructure of what would go in this plant, from everything from technology infrastructure to the equipment to sound systems, anything under the sun.
they put all that plan together, we put the grant in, and basically what you come down to is $25 million was available under the USDA grant, a federal grant, in the entire nation. And we are very blessed to receive the grant of right at $1 million. That's the 7th largest amount of money in the entire nation. And we were the only school system, you're the only Board of Education to receive that money. We were only second behind the Morehouse School of Medicine in the amount of money that was given out in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
Y'all, these aren't school systems that are applying. These are universities. These are medical colleges. They're medical universities that are applying for this telemedicine and telecommunications. And we've been blessed enough that little old Ben Hill County has received $1 million to support our boys and girls and teachers and staff. So I'm asking tonight that you grant permission to sign that we can move forward in receipt of that grant. And thank y'all.
Anybody want to make that motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'm more than glad to make the motion to accept this money, this grant. Second.
Motion and a bunch of seconds. All right, any discussion?
Is this money going to be able to be used for pre-K to high school?
This money will cover our entire school system. Plus, we wrote in there due to our partnership with Irvin County that we'll be able to put smart TVs for telecommunication via classrooms in the shared partnership that we have with Wiregrass and with Irvin County School System. So it is a 100% win-win for everybody, and it will be more than a true blessing for us based off of that. But it will take care of all schools.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, the same. Motion carries. All right. Need a motion to ratify the surplus of buses. 4 buses listed.
So moved. Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. All right, the 2021 GSBA nomination, officer nomination is in process. It's a self-nomination, or the board can nominate any of you interested in running for GSBA state office. Let us know your intent in doing that. That's got to be done by the 16th of April. The interviews are later in that month. I've been asked to serve on the interview committee for that. And so please let us know your intent. Also have the 2021 GSBA board recognition. Then we received our executive board last meeting, and we were notified of that. Usually takes place in December, a little bit delayed due to COVID. So we'll be in process of working on that process again. Also, we should be doing the legislative thing for June GSBA meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to nominate our representative? No? I thought I saw something, I got an email about it a couple of weeks ago. But we'll have time to do that in
Nominate our delegate.
April. So be thinking about that anyway. Upcoming events, we've got listed there for you. A lot of end of the year activities taking place. Again, a little bit different than we've done in the past, but we'll get back to our normal routine hopefully next year. We still don't know about totally about the summer conference yet. It could be a hybrid. We'll find out more about that a little bit later. And please remember your disclosure forms are due by July the 1st. All right, moving into personnel.
Gary,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I meant to mention, someone had come to me and asked if there was any way that we would consider moving our graduation to another Friday, because Irwin County's is the same Friday. So there's a conflict of people wanting to attend both. I said I would say something.
That's not a problem. I've heard from a few people the same way. We have been doing it on the same day for the past 2
Oh,
years.
okay, I didn't
So,
realize that, 'cause I don't know anybody else.
the issue of why we're on Friday is that it gives us the opportunity, if you ever rain, you got Saturday and Sunday, because people come from out of town. And what happens is, if you go to Saturday, then you narrow that scope down based off of that window of what you're able to do. We put it till later because of the heat, and we can move it up and look at earlier times based off of that. But the availability of moving it like that is not very advantageous, especially putting it off a week. People get done, they want to graduate, and they have plans. And that's why we set it so early, so they can make those plans for the year based off of that. And I do understand there's conflicts with certain obstacles in place for certain people. And we'll look at that in the future, maybe we can modify the time. But again, that would mean that it's going to be a little bit warmer. And we'll just have to look at that.
I'd like to make a request.
Yes, sir.
You get rid of the mats.
Might be able to put a fan up there.
All right, moving into personnel. We have the following recommendations. I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommendations from superintendent to first ratifying the employment of Ben Webb as director of curriculum and instruction, and then for David Ray as assistant principal, Jason Kennedy assistant principal, Christopher Jones as principal of the elementary school, Michael Heitzman, principal of the middle school, Roger Merritt, principal of the primary school.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
All right, got a motion second on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor of the recommendation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. Where were the changes? Was that-
Yes, sir, we do have the amend I will need to add, James Dodson as a driver. And then, when you get to, resignations, I'll go ahead and make.
It's all
Okay.
We had an addition for recommendations of James Dobbins as a driver, bus manager. Anybody need to see this? I entertain a motion, we approve James Dobbins. Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve James Dobbins. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. All right, entertain a motion to approve resignations of Sonia Chambliss, Mike Hobby, Ashley Phelps, and Chrissy Martin McCurdy.
I move to accept the resignations of the people that you named.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. Or was that a resignation or retirement, the other one?
That was a resignation.
Okay, the
But you
resignation is,
It's on there, Gary.
You just said. Mr.
oh, it's
McCurdy.
added, okay, excuse me, I'm sorry. All right, move to retirements. And entertain a motion to approve the retirements of Kathy Lovett and Thomas Rickles. All right, no motion.
I moved to.
Sorry, you're not the first year.
I move to accept the resignations of Miss Kathy Lovett. Retirement, excuse me, of Miss Kathy Lovett and Mr. Thomas.
Might have to take a wheelchair.
Only if you're taking us fishing.
Got just a spot.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Got some qualifications on that, but you like that. All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries.
Dawn, you got your can of, hair color?
I'm just gonna let it go. Dr. Wilson does to me.
Dawn's gonna be fine.
How many years?
Working on 16,
3 superintendents.
three superintendents.
All right, move to terminations. Entertain a motion to approve the termination of Hannah Vernon.
I move to approve termination of Hannah Brown.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. No further business comes forth now, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I did have the guys that would be our new principals to come tonight, I just want them to, I had them to dress up, of course, so Mr. Heisman, the new middle school principal, and Mr. Roger Merritt, Penn Hill Primary School. So I did want them to come tonight just to meet the board, so. And Mr. Jones, he's testing, he's from Albany, and his principal was out, but he's over testing, and he's pulling up in 1 minute just to introduce y'all to the new principals.
Okay, all right. Anything? Well, wait just a minute.
No, sir, you go in.
Okay. No further business come forth now, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained?